Ekiti State, created on October 1, 1996, joined the League of Democratic Government in 1999 with the inauguration of the pioneer civilian government led by Otunba Niyi Adebayo. The consequent proclamation of the First Assembly in the state on June 4, 1999 marks the beginning of the legislative arm to make laws for the implementation of policies and programs by the executive. Since the beginning of democratic government, the state has produced 6 assemblies and over 150 members from the 26 constituencies that made up the state assembly, while hundreds of bills and resolutions were passed, coupled with several other legislative functions. In the past years, the legislative backing to various programs and policies of successive administrations are said to be clear testimonies of the strategic roles of the legislative arm to empower the executive arm in implementation of its policies.
We discovered that this democracy is legislature. There is no time, there is no government. There is no time we don't have governor. There is no time the chairman of the councils are not in places. Call it supervisor, call it councillor, supervising councillor, they are there. It is only the legislature that is missing that people say there is no democracy. You know, the function of the legislature is straightforward: to make law for the good governance of the people and to serve as check and balances through their oversight functions.
Those of us who have who were in the house, those of them who are still there, we have tried to make good laws for the governance of our people in the state. No doubt about that. But you see, there are hindrances. These hindrances are they are like, I call them like the impediments we experience that will not allow good laws. The good laws will be made, but the implementation will not be there. Yet we're moving. So people should commend us.
Regardless of the controversies, it has been a stable democracy. Military intervention had not come to play. So it's a thing that is not yet to huru, because we have not got it to where we are, but we are at the threshold of getting to where we are.
Although the state had witnessed legislative executive turmoil in the past, key players said it's part of the beauty of democracy to ensure service delivery and guarantee dividends of democracy.
There have been times of people not understanding each other. Well, it's a learning. All of these stages constitute what we can call learning curve. And the legislature, if you look at the trajectory of the political trajectory of Nigeria, is perhaps the most traumatized, in the sense that we were under military jackpot, and the first casualty in that process.
Implementation and enforcement is still very difficult, and I think that it's because we don't make laws to reflect our way of life. I think part of it also is the lack of awareness on the side of the people, and also when they are making policies and laws, the government has to involve all the relevant stakeholders.
The executive is not the only government, it's an arm of government. And without legislation, there is no democracy. Therefore, people should give respect that is due to it. In fact, in trying to even ask people to go and represent them in the legislation, they should think who the persons are.
In the last 21 years, the legislative arm in the state has exhibited its legislative judicial power to serve as hope and voice of the voiceless.
Substantially, it represents the voice of the people in terms of making laws, in terms of oversight functions, in terms of acting as a check, or the old principles of checks and balances. Unlike in the past, when under the military, the two functions were merged together.
Despite the ups and downs in the last 21 years in the nation's democracy, key players believe that Nigeria is still growing in the business and there is hope in sight of better tomorrow for the nation's democracy. From the State House of Assembly, Ayode Jogunshaki, NTA News.